Maggie, how hard was it for you to become the deputy president of Daystar University Student Association? Were you able to audit your voters? Who voted for you more? Were they the male students or the female students? I'm curious.
Wow, that's a hard one. But you see, with this kind of system where you have delegates and now you have to choose a running mate. Now you are someone's running mate. So I don't like to call myself a vice, because a vice is someone who's just picked. But as a deputy, you have worked for that. So given we have two campuses, Nairobi and Athi River, I was based in Nairobi and my president was based in Athi River. So at times I couldn't show up for meetings there because I had so many classes and all that. So the challenges were like, huyo tu ni flower girl. She's just there. We've never met that vice president, that deputy we want to elect. But when I realized that that is what was happening and people were feeling like, especially in Athi River, that I am just a flower girl. So I started to show up and I proved to them that I'm going to make this come home. And actually my campus voted more for us than the other campus, where people felt like we were not campaigning and we had sleepless nights. There's a time that our opposers had planned to kidnap me or something. It was really serious. Yeah, it was so serious. I couldn't. Yeah, it is so intense that I couldn't walk alone. So this guy used to keep calling me, not really security, but I had to walk with a group of people so that I don't leave school late, because they could. At some point, I lost my stuff, my laptop, my phones, and everything. It was so intense, and then now people started to realize that, oh, I was actually going to bring something to the table. So I felt like it was a motivation for me to prove to them, you know what, actually I will do it and I will do it better. So towards the election day, I remember our opposition told their congressmen and their delegates, please don't pick her calls, because she's going to convince you to vote for them and we want you guys. So that morning when I tried to call them, they were not picking up. So I was like, oh my goodness, what's wrong? So after the elections, we're like, we're told not to pick your calls because you are going to convince us like you had done before. So it was just an encouraging when I was like, you know what, actually we could have gone for presidency, you would have made it. But yeah, that's my journey.
That is your journey?
Yeah.
Where? This is the point where we say, where? But we have to do it. Actually, there are women who have done it. As I was preparing for this show, I realized there's so many other women who have broken the glass ceiling in university politics. I'm talking about people like, of course, Maggie is here, Sylvia is here, Irene Kendi, yes. We have Anne Mvuria, we have Angeline Omwamba, there are several others. What do you think they know that the rest of us who are still struggling to join leadership positions don't know? Sylvia?
Okay, I'd say one thing that they probably know that we don't is how well they've understood themselves. Because I feel like when you understand yourself and you know this is what I want, this is what I'm made of, and this is what I bring, there is nothing that can be brought to you as a challenge that you will not be able to just easily tackle. And I feel like that's why they are where they are today, because they've fully understood this is who I am as Sylvia, this is what I want, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go, and no one can shake me, no rumors, no allegations, nothing. And I feel like that's something they've put in themselves that has gotten them where they are today.
Yes. Did you hear that? Why are you not clapping? Anyway, so now we have talked about the flowery, rosy bits about, Lila and women in campus. But then, elsewhere, the image, when you talk about campus girl in Kenya, the image that many people have is not very pleasant. And one aspect of that is the fact that the campus girl in Kenya is associated with some negativity. Some people call them the gold diggers. Some people say they actually, they get their grades horizontally. Okay, we've heard about issues of sex for grades, isn't it? And then there's, of course, the sponyo, the mubaba culture. When you talk about the campus girl, that also comes up, right? Maggie, how is Lila going to try to rebrand the Kenyan campus girl to represent who she really is?
So,
just a minute, my audience should also be ready with answers for that, because I want to hear from as many people as possible. Yes, Maggie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question. So first of all, before I answer that question, let me just take you back to what Laila is about. It's about empowering young ladies who have come together in mastery of different fields. So it's not just about politics or leadership, because when we say leadership, people feel like, oh, it's just political and governance. Leadership in the marketplace, in business, in media, like you are, like Oprah, you know, people like Julie Gish. We want to have people who are empowered in every kind of area they want to venture into, and that's why we have mentorship. And that's one of the reasons actually why Laila is found, and why we do currently, I think Sylvia didn't mention that we have monthly trainings on those kinds of areas, how to make it to that place where you are. You know, to just have, we have values that we don't want to be associated with that kind of campus girl who goes to steal people's husbands. And that's why we are here trying to just show the ladies that you can do it. You know, like you don't have to be under someone to, like the way Zam has said, that you can stand up as Zah and say that I don't have to sleep with a man so that I can become president. There is another way. She failed that time. Today she's the deputy. But you see, if she had put her dignity down, even that presidency would not have been as genuine. So we want to show young ladies that we are doing it. And we have turned down some opportunities. I talk with Zai and some ladies from different universities because they're my friends as leaders. And I tell them that at times there's this opportunity that we want, but someone has said, Meg, you have to come and meet me at a certain place so that I can, you know, if you're not doing that, people have approached me. Like, men have the audacity to tell you to their face that if you don't sleep with me, we're not going to take Laila to this place. We're not going to help you meet so and so. And I'm like, you know what? Actually, you can stay with that. You will see us there where we want to be, and we will not have slept with someone. So it's the values. Wow. So it's the values that we are trying to instill as we mentor. So we also have mentorship programs for high school. As Daystar University goes to market our high school in those girls' school where they tell people to come to Daystar, we do a mentorship program because we want to instill these values in them when they're still young, because when they're in campus, it's not easy to change. And we show ourselves as examples. We tell them that you don't have to sleep with someone for something, but when you know exactly what you are and you have invested in yourself, that you bring value to the table, people will overlook sex. People will overlook those kinds of things. And you see, in the long run, sponsorship is not sustainable. You know, there's diseases, there's pregnancy, there's your dignity, there's the integrity. Yeah, so I think I've answered your question.
Yes,
have
you have done extremely well.
Thank you.